We are back with another edition of Evan Ginsberg's Legends TV, always an eclectic mix, with my co-host, poet John Winnell. Show him the shirt, John.
Oh, should I stand up again?
Nah, it took too long last time.
I'm telling
there you go.
There's Edgar Allan, or Edgar Poe. Allan was the name that he took from his adopted father.
All right. Sitting next to that bass kid, Timmy Douglas.
What
Long
up,
time.
everybody? You know me, man. Here I am.
And explain your shirt while we're doing shirts.
This is a poop emoji.
Yeah.
The shirt bought me by my lovely girlfriend the other day. I think from Walmart. Thank you.
And what does the poop emoji represent to you?
It represents shit, Evan.
There you go.
That's just what it is. You know
So that's
what I mean?
what Tom
Poopy
Carvel,
poop.
when Tom Carvel does it, that's what it looks like.
It's like what? White scuba
But
white.
Tom's are
you
much
know what I mean?
tastier.
That's right.
That's right. That's right. And with us, hip-hop artist, MC Vernon Stones, making
How's it
his
going?
debut on the show.
Oh yeah, thank you for having me.
There
I
you go.
appreciate it.
And we were talking before the show about the late, great Bob Marley. I made the tremendous decision years ago. I said, I'll catch him next year. I don't like the opening act, and he died. True story.
bro.
True story.
Yeah, I saw him in '78 at the Garden.
Oh, man.
Stanley Clarke, the School Days tour.
Yo, I love
Marley.
Stanley Clarke, man.
Okay, great.
Since you mentioned that, as a bass player, who are some of your influences? You lit up when he said Stanley
I
Clarke.
love Stanley Clarke, man. I wish Stanley Clarke was my dad, man.
Yeah.
Him and like Marcus Miller, and then you can't forget if you play bass, you gotta love Victor Wooten, man. He's like
Oh yeah.
king of all everything that's bass, you know. But one of my favorite, my most influential cat right now is definitely Marcus Miller, because he plays more music than the technical. He's a real musical kind of bass player.
He's a William Parker. Do you know William Parker?
No,
More
wait.
on avant-garde jazz, a tremendous, played with David Murray,
Okay.
but really more inventive. I don't know, I guess it's more avant-garde, maybe they're in
You're a little
Europe.
out there or something like that.
Fantastic, a guy can do anything.
And since I'm older than you, I'm going to go with Larry Graham and Bootsy, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
He's the man.
Yeah,
Larry,
yeah,
you can't-
everybody
if you know,
knows.
if you play thumb style, you gotta think about Larry
The
Graham.
great Larry Graham.
You know who really liked Larry Graham, was a big fan? All he ever talked about when it comes to bass playing was Larry Graham, was Prince.
Oh, yeah.
Now, back in the day, I had read an article in Bass Player Magazine when they had put Prince in Bass Player Magazine. The guy went to Paisley Park to interview him. And most of the interview was mostly just him saying, if you want to play a good bass, check out, Larry Graham.
Larry Graham.
Yeah.
Couldn't think of the name for a minute.
The great, and we saw him last summer. He tours all over the world, I guess,
Yeah.
and always comes back. He lands in New York.
He's going to be at B.B. King's August 13th.
and it's
We should
worth-
go, man.
Absolutely.
We should go. We should hang out.
We went last year. It was the best show we saw all year, right?
Yeah, it starts off. He comes walking in with this. The band is all color coordinated. And he comes out in this uniform suit with the feather and the white, and he just kills from the beginning. And then it plateaus, and then all of a sudden, like the last 40 minutes, I think the roof of BB King's actually lifted.
Best show we saw all year. Seriously.
There's all the slide. It was electric.
Nice, man.
And then they hung around and they signed for everybody. It was
Awesome. You gotta do that for the
that's-
band,
that's
man.
cool.
I love when that happens, when cats do that, you know.
And the
That's
night
what we
before,
man.
they have a new stadium at Coney Island. I don't know if you heard about this, where they used to have the free concerts. So now it's paid tickets. The night before, they got Kool and the Gang, Bootsy, Dougie Fresh, and Morris Day on the Time, all in one show.
That must be like a hell of a
So you got
show,
Bootsy
man.
Friday, Larry Graham Saturday. That's like the bass Hall of Fame right there.
You think that show, you'd be tired, man. You'd be like,
After that weekend, the
voice.
summer's over. You can't top that.
Can't
You can't top
nothing
that.
after that, man.
no,
Time to go home. Think about Larry Graham, man. He got these big ass hands. I hate for him to slap me.
big
you know?
hands.
He would slap the shit out of you, man. You know what I mean?
Nicest
Across the
man-
room.
One of the nicest guys on the planet. Larry
He's the
Graham.
last guy that's going to slap
Yeah,
you.
he's a
I'm just
very.
saying,
Yeah.
If he did, man. it'd be-
He's a Jehovah's Witness. Very religious
Oh,
guy.
yeah? Wow.
Very religious guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
No doubt,
Yeah.
man. No
So who are
doubt.
some of your influences?
I got a lot of influences. Believe it or not, I listen to a lot of old R&B, old school R&B, a lot of pop, a lot of techno music. I listen to everything. I'm not just a one-sided person.
Good.
Definitely, by far, being an MC, you have to be universal. Really, to be honest, classical music is really one of my favorite instrumentations because it brings you to another place.
There you go.
If you think about, they didn't really have drums back then, so the notation of the music was like rhythmic, and also they played percussions with the keys that they had. So it was very interesting to listen to that type of music. The horns. It was just such rich period at that time. So
I'm glad
jazz drums are tuned too. I mean, you know,
right.
Those guys are as serious as any.
Oh yeah. Jazz is awesome. I have
Elvin
a lot of,
Jones.
Yeah, I have a lot of people that play jazz. Actually, I met him, and he was doing jazz. At the time.
I can
great
imagine.
jazz bassist, Ron Carter.
The great
You
Ron
know
Carter.
Bob Cunningham? Bob Cunningham's underrated.
I
Tremendous
saw
bass
Ron,
player.
Ron Carter do a show. I think it was just him and Max Roach, and maybe Cecil Taylor. It might have been the three of them.
Wow.
At Columbia.
I used to see Max Roach do solo drum shows. Solo. Imagine doing a solo show, 45, 50 minutes, Max Roach.
Solo
drums, unbelievable.
That's crazy, really.
Yeah. Never
And
forget
that
it.
great album that he did with with Abby Lincoln. I forget the name. It is it's like a cry in the night. It is incredible. Worth discovering. Max Roach and Abby Lincoln. I forget the name. Really, it's very, very vocally very exciting.
So I'm happy as a young artist you're so open-minded, because I get very tired of both extremes. You get older folks like myself will go, there's been no good music since the Beatles or back in the day. I'm like, what are you, stupid? Come on.
Come on, man.
And then you get a young person who goes, that's my dad's music, that's corny. I'm going, you're being narrow-minded too. So it's very refreshing to hear a young person who's open to anything. Duke Ellington used to say there's only two kinds of music, good and bad.
That's right.
That's right. I've noticed that now what's happening in the trend in hip hop is that they're recycling a lot of old material that if they were to play the record nowadays, a lot of the younger youth would be like, oh, what the heck is that? What are you playing? Why are you playing
You know what
that?
the DNA
That's
of
old
hip-hop
school.
is? Tell me if I'm wrong. George Clinton, James Brown, and Roger Troutman for the most part.
Yeah, for the
Yeah,
most
right?
part, you're
I would
absolutely
say,
right. Yeah.
Funky Drum has been on thousands of
Yes.
hip-hop cuts.
Yeah,
James
definitely,
Brown.
man,
Yes, a lot of sampling.
So how does somebody say I don't like old school stuff? That's where it came from.
That's like saying you don't like your mom and your parents.
Exactly.
You know, they gave you
Exactly.
life. You know, why deny something that gave you life? You should embrace that and then try to take that and then turn it into your own thing. You know, don't shy away from it. Embrace that and use that culture, but change it and morph it into another culture. So that, like with hip hop, there's subcultures and different genres of hip hop now. So it's like you got trip hop, you got trap music, you got your classic R&B. Now you have R&B. Now you have, I don't know what you want to call it, just sex music if you ask me. it's a lot of.
Do you think there's
subgenres
ageism in hip-hop? Because I think a lot of the older artists get kind of discarded. I just saw a documentary on Public Enemy, and Chuck D's my age, and they're still relevant. They're still out there.
Right,
they're playing with live musicians.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, now they're with the Rage Against the Machine guys. They're doing that proper for Rage band now, man.
There is, in this age right now, this is the technological age. There's no expiration date on music, period. So I don't understand why these people say, oh, you can't be 50 and making a rap song and you're 50 years old. But do the ones and twos. The technology gets transferred so fast. You can make a record, put it on the internet, someone in a different country will buy your record, and they're bumping that record over there heavy because they love music. It's not about your age. It's not about that.
Larry Graham's 70. Bobby Rush is 82 or 83. Who's better than them?
They're still doing it. They're still doing it. There's this one guy, he just came out with a record a couple of years ago. I think it was 2 years ago. Oh man, like 70 years old. How you gonna move with your pants on the ground? You got your pants on the ground.
Yeah.
He made
About Charles
so much
Bradley
money off of that.
later, much later in life.
Charles Bradley and Sharon Jones made it late. Yeah.
You know what they call that when you get older? As far as musicians go, when you get older, like you pass, I don't know what age, but after like you pass 40, they call it old man chops. Your chops becoming this thing, and you're coming up in the field, man. Your hands are doing what they couldn't do before, and you're playing riffs and you're writing riffs that you never wrote before, and like you're understanding music, and when you have to do a gig, it's not as hard as it was when you were younger because you know what note's going to be here and what's there. it just comes with the, old man chops. Where I'm
You
looking
become more focused.
man,
That's what it becomes. You
I think
become
you
more
could be
focused.
right about that. But
Well,
I call it old man chops.
There you go. The other thing is, if you have some 14-year-olds singing about love, it doesn't ring true. You have somebody who's been through their first and second divorces, you feel it, right? So
They can relate, yeah.
Yeah, if I hear another song about someone's butt, man, I'm gonna kill myself. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
oh my God, man, it's great.
it's tired.
It
Tired.
really is, man.
Yeah.
So Timmy, you play all styles of music. Tell us some career highlights.
Oh man, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame headlined that back in the day with Nick Clemens a couple years back. I played the Blue Note a couple times, legendary Blue Note Jazz Club. When you stand on the stage at the Blue Note, I stood with
Who'd you play with?
Monet Charisse, I believe, Monet from out of New York City, awesome neo soul artist.
Okay.
And when you stand on the stage at the Blue Note, man, it's like
Sacred.
I stood in Stanley Clark's spot, and I'm
Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I saw the Modern Jazz Quartet.
You
I
know?
saw Dizzy there too at the Blue Note.
Yeah.
vibe is like unreal, man. You know, a couple
Wow.
of you. I mean, I've been all over the country, man. Toured here and there. Whiskey in L.A., 930 Club in D.C. You know,
Chuck Brown,
yeah.
right? Chuck Brown's out of
Yeah.
there.
A lot of big club, man. Red Devil Lounge. I met, a lot of cats. I can't even think of everything that I've done. I mean, at the moment right now, I'm focusing on me and my good man Burn here, and we got a new song out called Broken Planet, which focuses on the times and how everything's going now. And I got a new EP out called Skizzy Winks, which I've released, which is like funk fusion kind of bass grooves, a little bit like something different for the people.
Yeah.
I do like these one-off boardwalk gigs now in Asbury Park. I've been going down there and like getting a lot of good response from people on the boardwalk when playing like groups on the boardwalk, and you got like little babies and with the $1 bill coming to your cup.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I passed out lollipops. So you got like kids come up and steal lollipops out of your can all day long.
Yeah.
Does it cost money, mister? I'm like, no, just take a lollipop, kid. You know what I'm gonna say?
I'm glad you mentioned kids because when I was a kid, my dad would take me to jazz shows, R&B shows.
Mhm.
When I was a kid, my dad took me to see the late great Eddie Jefferson, vocalese, tremendous. My dad took me to see the Spinners with Felipe Wynn.
That was my first record I ever had was the Spinners, man. I'm gonna get you.
How great were the Spinners with Felipe Wynn? Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Nancy Wilson, Ella Fitzgerald, Carmen McRae, Sarah Vaughan. And I'm always indebted to my parents for, helping me develop ears. Because, like, when I heard Mel Torme the first time, I didn't quite get it.
Right.
But a few years later, I got it,
Yeah.
And they were open to anything from show tunes to R&B. This is almost like pre-hip hop. I'm talking, I was 12 years old, but I'm always indebted. So I think parents should take their kids by the hand, especially in a place like New York, where from Memorial Day to Labor Day, you could see a free concert every
Yeah,
day
show
of the
'em some
week.
music, yeah.
Get them away from the video games, get them away from the TV, and introduce them to some culture.
Yeah,
it doesn't
right.
even have to be music. It could be museums, it could be film,
Art,
but
yeah.
art in general. I mean,
Right.
get the kids away from the technology and into
Especially
the
in a
arts.
city like
Right.
New York, where it's just there's
It's
more than enough
abundant.
things to do,
Yeah, it's abundant. Like,
and inexpensively. If
Right.
if you're
I live in Jersey, so for me to come to the city, every once in a while it gets expensive. But if I lived in the city and I was able to go as I pleased, I'm pretty sure we would take in so much culture here. We have a lot of
We'll do
culture
23,
too in
30
Jersey
shows a
as well.
summer. It's all
Yeah.
free.
Yeah. But it's just work and we've got a lot of things going on at home. So I understand where parents are coming from, but at the end of the day, you do have to get your kids into something.
well, it could be
different
once a
inside
week.
of the
You
arts.
make
Yeah.
like a family thing out of it, and
Yeah.
then it becomes an
ru-
important
routine,
and
yeah.
more memorable. You
Yeah.
can't do something every day, of course, with
Right,
obligations. It's not possible. But once a week, especially if you have young kids, it's very important.
It is
Introduce them to the world outside of the apartment or outside of the television.
Right.
You have to expand people. You
Mhm.
can't. That's the problem today in America. Everything
Right.
has become so narrow focused.
In this box, no one can get out of their
They
phone.
don't want people to think. You
They
have
can't. You're right. They can't get out of their phone. They can't get out of their tablet. They can't get out of the TV. Can't get out of the computer. Get out and do something.
Break out.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's up to the parents these days because they're cutting funding in schools for music program, which is a terrible thing to do.
Ridiculous.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because that's how you
Art
start.
also.
You know?
All right.
So it's up to the parents. You got to really, be involved and get the kids out to see this music if they want to play the piano or get them a drum or something. I get my little niece and nephew. I got them all little, drum instrument, guitar, keyboard, just so they can have it to play around. But you know what I mean? I don't have any kids personally, but I do teach rhythm. What would you call it? Like a program at the school. I did it for like 2 years, and it was like a rhythm. What would you call it? Rhythm. I can't think of the name right now, man. Rhythm workshop.
Okay.
I get the kids together. We come. Me and my drummer. We come in. We show the kids how to play bass and drums. The little grooves, and we record everything they do. And then I go home and mix it all down on my system. Then we come back the next week and we have a little CD release party. Take their picture, we put they're on their CD. We have a little cake and like little
that's
drinks
great.
and stuff. And we celebrate the work we did the week before. You know what I mean? They're all interested in trying to play a little bass, a little bit of drum because it's fun. So that's like
And what you're going to find inevitably is one or two of those kids are going to go on to be professional musicians, and they're going to say you inspired them.
I seen him out. I seen one of the kids when I was out cutting my grass that day. He's like, "You still playing, man?" And I'm like, "Of course I am." It's a funny guy. I got cut for the program, but it's good to see one of the students. And they asked him to ask me that. But that was like a good highlight of my career was doing that.
That's
with kids.
great.
You got to keep the kids in it, the next generation in it.
Absolutely.
They want to play.
Play live music.
They want to do it, man. You got to take the time.
And everything in the educational system is about testing. And what about music? What about art? What about sports? What about exercise? What about shop? What about home economics, etc., so on? Life skills. Life skills, not just testing.
Yeah, it's so different now than we were coming up. You know what I mean?
It is. It's unfortunate.
Even just the values of all that.
Whether the money's not there, or maybe the values, or what's considered important, I don't know.
It's a shame, man. It really is a shame.
Absolutely. And what are some of your career highlights? You're a young guy.
Yeah, I'm fairly young. I mean, my accolades. Well, I was doing a lot of underground circuitry in the city, actually. Different clubs, different venues. You asked me the name, I can't tell you because I was so drunk.
Come on, man!
I can't remember.
Not bad of it, brother.
But no, I've just had like such a great experience. Basically being underground. We did shows in Connecticut. We did quite a few out there. We did shows in I want to say Massachusetts. Yeah, Massachusetts. We were on the local college radio station out there. We did shows at Monmouth University.
Okay, great.
So
nice venues.
Quite a few places doing underground venues. Nothing big time. Just really small venues. Getting to know people, getting our faces out there.
There you go.
This is when I was with my group called Dollars Mean Profit.
What?
And we still, shout out to them. How y'all doing? And we still get together, do music. Right now, I'm doing more production than anything ever than before. I'm just in the house making beats, trying to get clearances for samples.
Okay.
Mainly for vocals samples.
Got to sample some Bernie Worrell, R.I.P., right?
Yeah, man.
I love Bernie Worrell.
What a shame, man. What a shame, man. Just yesterday.
Some of the best nights of my life seeing P-Funk with Bernie back in the day.
It's a lot of greats actually passing now, and it's like
dedicate the show to Bernie. I love that guy.
Bernie.
It's for you,
and
buddy.
There's a lot of people. That's a lot of great artists that are.
It's been a brutal year for losing.
I know it really has.
Prince,
a lot of deaths, man.
Maurice White,
Bowie.
Everybody, they dying like they dropping.
It's irreplaceable.
It's like no one's really jumping in that zone and taking on that torch.
I remember I was at the Knitting Factory. We used to do shows, and of course they had 3 stages. This was the second Knitting Factory, the one. Or in Tribeca or Soho. So at the box office, coming in, and Bernie Worrell with his bands coming up the stairs with the hat, with the coat. It was like, wow, Bernie. So he come on in to see the set, which of course they will play in the big room, and we were just doing our thing.
You see, there are a lot of great musicians, but innovators like Bernie Worrell, Prince, Bowie, Maurice White, of course. You can't replace them. You can always find some guy, who could play guitar, but you're not going to replace guys like that. It's
right.
Yeah, it's a shame, man. I had a Bernie moment, man, at the Victor Wooten show. He was, they were doing something, man, and he stops to show me. He's like, "Who's that in the audience, man? Is that Bernie?" And they bring him up on the stage, man. And he started doing this thing, man. You know what I mean? He's always
with everybody.
Always good. I seen him a couple of times. That was the one I remember the most. Was Victor Wooten put him up on stage. I'm like, that's like, it was definitely cool.
One thing that I was happy about was he got acknowledgement. New York Times wrote him up. It was everywhere. There were guys who passed who were tremendous. Who they barely get noticed. Blowfly just died. Remember Blowfly? No.
No, I do not.
Tremendous. Check him out. You'll appreciate him.
Sorry.
You'll appreciate him.
I know a lot.
Anyway.
But, you looked at me.
Anyway.
I thought he was talking to you, man.
Yeah.
So, John, plug your book.
There it is. What the few that we have left? Poems for Everyday People. If you want to contact me, John Winnell, JONWINELL at yahoo.com or at Facebook, or in the city, they have it at McNally Jackson on Prince Street. You can contact them and they'll get one in your hands. And it's reasonable. There aren't many left. So.
And we will be hearing from your book later in the show, and you guys are all going to be jamming the last half hour live on TV. You haven't seen this since back in the day. These three gentlemen who just met for the first time, so this will be interesting. Yeah. And Timmy, plug any social media, any upcoming gigs?
Oh man, yo, you know me, man. Bass Kid, basskid.com. I'm on iTunes. Skizzy Winks is my new EP. Check it out. I got new tracks coming out with my boy Burning Stones called Broken Planet, featuring that today on the show. Yep. Bass Kid on Facebook, Bass Kid everything, Bass Kid underwear, Bass Kid soup, Bass Kid sandwiches, whatever you want.
There you go.
Bass Kid's how you find me.
There you go. And Vernon, what do you want to plug?
You can check me out, Burning Stones OT on Twitter. Also, Vern Finley, that's my personal page on Facebook. I'm going to get a music page up there soon. I'm just me, so I don't need a personal page. Just look at me, hit me up, I'll answer you back, get at you. That's my contact info.
There you go. My book, Apartment 4B, like in Brooklyn, about the turbulent East Flatbush of the 60s and 70s, 50 short story collection. And August 20th, we are promoting a big show at Theater 294 Farmingdale Road in East Farmingdale, New York. You will hear poet John Winnell and world-class jazz musicians Blaze Sewullo and Karsten Ratke flying in from Germany for this gig. Nice. So this is going to be a hot show. August 20th, that's a Saturday night. Tickets only $20, promoted by yours truly. Don't miss that. And when we come back, we're going to talk pro wrestling. We're going to shift things completely, and later in the show, these gentlemen will rejoin us for a live set. So don't you dare go anywhere. This is the eclectic mix known as Legends TV. We'll be right back.
Luxury Coach is a full-service limousine and party bus company. Family-owned and operated, we are an industry leader with over 25 years of experience in providing best-in-class luxury transportation for your special event. Whether it's your precious wedding day, an all-day wine tour out east, your high school prom, that special birthday, or just an amazing night on the town, our professional chauffeurs stand ready to ensure your special event is truly special. Galaxy Luxury Coach has one of the largest and modern party bus fleets in the New York area. Our party buses are simply nightclubs on wheels. Concert sound systems, light shows, lasers and strobes, multicolor LED lighting brilliantly lights your party bus inside and out. For corporate and more laid-back events, we will cater to your specific needs and requests. What sets Galaxy aside from all others in the luxury transportation industry is our attention to detail in customizing our services to your special event. At Galaxy, it's all about you and your guests. Galaxy customers return time and time again because they know they can trust Galaxy to help deliver those lifetime memorable moments. Step aboard and let your Galaxy experience begin.
Being a fireman is more than just putting out blazes and giving kittens CPR. Sometimes my duty demands I fan the flames like when a call comes in from a lady who needs immediate assistance. Maybe she needs help with a computer thing. Maybe she wants to go antique. Could be as simple as understanding that walking in heels it's hard. Ou aussi simple que l'été dernier à Paris. C'est sympa. Maybe it's ladies' night in, and she wants a simple, delicious recipe for margaritas with a twist. First, a can of limeade. Now hold on to this. You'll be using it. Side note, kittens make everything better. Next, add water. Now, a bottle of light beer. No, shh. Trust me, I'm a professional. And last, and most important, Sauza Blue tequila. Now, mix it up. Ole. Yes, that's what I'm trained for. Whether it's to help her choose leggings or pants, telling her leggings are pants, or discussing leggings and jeggings versus pant pegging at her next ladies' night in, I'll come to the rescue. Don't call me a hero. Just call me. Let me know what time.
We are back with Legends TV, and an eclectic mix as always. Our friend John Boondock Sawyer, pro wrestler, rather large individual. You look the part. There you go. Tell us about that belt, Anthony Gangone. What's that belt?
This is the House of Glory Elite Championship. So it's the most important championship in all of the Tri-State.
There you go. I've invited Amazing Red on the show several times. He's totally ignored me. So show him this video and tell him to come on.
He's a little busy right now.
There you go. Seated next to Brooke Danielle.
Hello.
First time on the show. And another rather large individual who looks the part, TJ Marconi.
Thank you.
How are you today, TJ?
Good.
Good. It's a talk show, so you have to be...
don't worry.
There you go.
I'll talk it all.
Okay. So, you had a big show last night. Why don't you tell us about that to start off?
Yeah, in Deer Park, NYWC Sportatorium, there was World's Finest Wrestling. It was their debut show. All three of us were there.
I thought it was the second show.
No, first one, debut.
First one, okay.
Debut show. Pretty well, especially for our first time show. And the next one is September 9th. Friday night, September 9th.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the promoter is Chris Michael.
Yes.
I have a friend, Chris Michaels, an old school wrestler.
Well, maybe he should
Different guy.
Add an S to his name. Why not, right?
There you go. So, when you say the show was successful, one, it made money, which is a rarity in indie wrestling.
Absolutely.
So we're happy to hear that.
Yeah.
And what was the draw? I heard it had a good crowd.
A little over 200, right?
Yeah.
Which is pretty good for
Pretty
a
good
debut in that building. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And tell us about House of Glory.
House of Glory is based out of Brooklyn, New York. It's probably the fastest growing New York promotion, indie promotion. We're based out of NYC Arena in Jamaica, Queens. And it's like a nightclub. The nightclub's actually.
I was there ages ago for a lucha show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do lucha. They do MMA fights, stuff like that. It's a pretty nice venue. Probably the best one in New York. So.
Beautiful.
And Amazing Red is a world-class athlete.
Absolutely.
What a pleasure to watch that guy.
Yeah.
I mean, the moves that guy had. He was pretty much ahead of his time.
Yeah. Well, he invented most of the moves that people do today. So.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. And, back in the day, as a kid, like, I started going to wrestling before a lot of you guys were born, 1974. And, they didn't have guys that size back then, especially not in the Tri-WF.
Mm-hmm.
So, when guys like Mysterio and Amazing Red came along, it was something new and different and special.
Yeah.
I mean, really, because the moves... I was at the Garden, speaking of that, I was at the Garden when Tiger Mask and Dynamite Kid wrestled. And we looked at this like they had come from another planet. We had never seen anything like this. Because WWF was always these big guys, and they would come to take on Bruno and Pedro and Backlund and Hogan, of course. And then you have Dynamite Kid and Tiger Mask, and you're like, wow, this is almost like, just something new. It was amazing.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of respect for guys like Red, because they're innovators.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolute innovators. So what's been doing with you, Boondocks?
Not much. I joined the NYWC back in April. I go to the Training Academy twice a week. I had my debut with them on their Hall of Fame show, which I believe was in May. I forgot the exact date, but it was the night they put Mikey Whipwreck and Mike Mondo, aka Mikey from the Spirit Squad, in there.
He's a serious wrestler.
Yeah, I've seen him work plenty of times, and I made my debut that night in the Battle Royal for the #1 contender spot to the Fusion title, in which Alvin tossed me at the very end. But I'm still with them. Still with Gino Caruso at East Coast Pro Wrestling, and trying to get as much work as I can. I don't work often, but I work, whenever is possible, because I still got the other prior engagements going on with the acting and
Tell us about your acting. We're an arts program.
The Chamber of Horrors New York season starts this September at Matt Giuliano's Play Like a Pro Sports in Hop New York. Not much else I can say. Just go to chamberofhorrorsny.com for more info, but I will be a part of the season once again.
And if you had a choice between winning the Academy Award for Best Actor or headlining WrestleMania, which one would you pick?
I can't answer that because both seem incredibly impossible.
Yeah. Tough question, right?
Yeah.
Hey, I used to go to Ring of Honor at the Hammerstein Ballroom, and there's Bryan Danielson, and years later there he is headlining WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So amazing things happen in this business. You never know.
Overnight, almost.
Overnight, yeah. I mean, he was great. He was great from day one. That guy, tremendous. So,
That's your guy.
so Brooke. Speaking of changes in wrestling, the Divas are huge today, and they're getting their own spin-off shows and everything. How does this affect someone on the indie circuit? Ultimately, you want to get to WWE, I assume.
I mean, that should be everybody's ultimate goal, is that WWE and being on that level. All the shows that they have are like, it's fun to watch, but some of it is silly sometimes.
Oh yeah.
But it's
of it's unwatchable. Yes.
Some of it. But it's gotten them so much recognition, and the ones that actually have talent are now starting to get recognition, and it's a good time to be a wrestler right now, and it's a good time to be a women's wrestler, and even with the cruiserweight stuff that they're doing, it's you were saying before about how you used to look at these guys like they were from another planet.
Right.
Now everybody has a shot. It's not something so far off that you can't imagine.
Sure. So here's my pet peeve with women's wrestling. I'd rather watch Sarah Del Rey, who's a great wrestler, than watch somebody who looks like a centerfold who can't wrestle. I don't care what they look like. I want to see a good wrestling match. So what's your take on that?
Well, obviously I'm not the typical, I'm 5'1", so I'm not really tall, and I will never be a size 0 ever in my life. So that's the kind of thing that is good about wrestling right now is that there's more fans like that who would rather see a good match as opposed to see two models catfighting like it used to be.
Right.
And so hopefully I will have one of those matches where it's like, oh, she doesn't look like the typical wrestler, but that was actually really good.
Well, the thing is, I tell every woman wrestler that comes on this show, branch out, modeling, acting. And in acting, the thing is, a perfect-looking guy or a perfect-looking woman is a dime a dozen. You would stand out with the hair, and you have a unique look. I think that would get you more work than looking like, any other model. That's
every
really.
blonde.
No, seriously.
Well, that's the thing with WWE. Everybody has like Paige, Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks. They all have these like bright hair colors. They all have really different gear, really different styles with different looks, and it's cool because you didn't see that. Everybody was blonde hair or brunette. There was no purple hair. There was no red hair.
Right.
There was, but it wasn't like.
To
big
me,
thing.
the perfect woman wrestler is Sherry Martel. Because she could wrestle, she could brawl, she had charisma, she had a great act, she could talk. She was a total package.
Yeah.
I don't think you need to look like a Playboy centerfold to be a wrestler, right?
She's the one that most people remember when you say women's wrestler. Like my father, who really isn't a fan of wrestling, knows Sherry Martel.
She was tremendous.
She's fantastic.
I once interviewed her. It was 4 in the morning on a radio show, and she told me she was on the road her whole life and she never saw her kid grow up. I'll never forget it. She really opened up, And R.I.P. Sherry Martel. How great was she?
Yeah.
So Anthony, tell us some career highlights.
This year alone has been incredible for me. I beat at least 3 people that are in the Cruiserweight Classic right now.
Okay.
Defended this bad boy.
So what brings you under the NXT or WWE radar? Because you're working with these guys, so.
Meaning?
How do you get their attention? There's so many indie wrestlers out there.
I like to think that I bring something a little bit different to the table with not only can I, some would say wrestle, but I can also speak, and I kind of have a unique look from my hairstyle to my point of view on things and all that. So
yeah, you look like you'd be comfortable like in Williamsburg, like hanging out on a Saturday.
I don't know about Williamsburg.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Different Williamsburg than from what I remember.
That's right. And TJ, I think you'd be the first guy WWE would look at because they always like size. And tell us a little about your career.
I'm 6 years in now. I took a year and a half off for injuries and personal life, but I'm just past 6 years when I started training. This past year and a half, I started, I guess, getting my feet wet and getting ground rug. I did extra work with WWE back in December. Kind of a focal point in a couple companies like Ace in Wallington, New Jersey. I'm the champion there. And then a couple of local companies, I have championships there. And usually the top bad guy in some other companies here around the area, and then up and beyond wrestling in Rhode Island. So I'm starting to get the ball moving, I would say. And I guess I'm on the radar now because when you do extra work with them, you
See, it's
automatically.
interesting. I look at you and I would say you'd be a perfect face.
Yeah,
Right?
I'm very good at being a face, but most of the time is they want me to be a bad guy. I'm usually the heel, so. But yeah, being a baby face is very few and far between for me now. Yeah.
Any great matches come to mind when you look back at your career?
Recently, I guess the one with Tommy Dreamer was pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
That kind of helped me get the ball rolling with a lot of stuff. And then one of my most favorite matches was against Dan Moff. Not too long
he's
ago.
tough.
Yeah, so that was like, I like that. I like fight. I more realism because unlike I guess most of the style now, it looks very choreographed. Looks very like acrobatic. I like realism. I like the fight. It looks like two guys are in there for a fight and not just doing stuff just to do it.
Okay, since you mentioned Dan Moff, who I know forever, very, very stiff.
Yeah.
The old school guys, like Johnny Valiant's a friend of mine, WWE Hall of Famer, they prided themselves on working very light. We don't want to hurt each other. We don't want to go in with the guy that's clobbering us. He said, hey, Stax Calhoun had very bad eyesight, and he just clobber you, by accident. So why has that changed over the years? Why it's so much stiffer?
With social media and I guess people getting smart, as like quote unquote smart, people know that it's entertainment and it's choreographed. So to hook them, if one stiff shot or one big shot, then they question, okay, is this really a fight or am I seeing a wrestling match? So
Interesting.
I think the stiffness or the tightness re-hooks the fans and makes them disbelieve for a second. If they know they're there to see something entertainment, something choreographed, but when something like a loud noise or a big shot, stiff shot happens, they go back to, okay, maybe this is real. So that's why I like working that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And you feel it the next morning.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, my thing is, if the first one is loud and stiff, then they're hooked, and then you can tighten up. You can cut back a little bit. But that first one, you got to rehook them. You have to make them, okay, is this real? And then they're in.
And I'll pass this around to everybody. Career highlights, great matches that come to mind.
I really like, well, we're in Long Island. Willow Nightingale is this
She was on the show, nice girl.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
so she was a student from NYWC, and her and I have had a couple of matches. I really like wrestling her because, like he was talking about, the stiffness and the tightness. Like, we both hit each other pretty hard, and I like when I can hit a girl hard. And, like,
There you go. She's
it
not a
might sound
crybaby.
really weird, but
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Right.
She's not a crybaby about it, and I enjoy wrestling her a lot. And her and Brittany Blake is like. I hit her pretty hard too. I like that. So, the two of them, I've had some decent matches with the two of them. So
And
I like
what
that.
what does your family say when you tell them about your unique profession? Are they worried about you getting hurt?
Well, I actually am still kind of. I just had surgery like
there you
2
go.
months ago.
Wow.
At practice I hurt myself. I don't like being told what to do, so I did something that I thought I could do, and I hurt myself.
Wow.
So that was back in October, and then I had surgery, and my parents were like, "Oh, you're gonna get back in the ring?" I said, "Absolutely, I am. I can't wait." I'm like clawing
Can I
at the
answer?
ring right now.
Right.
No, you cannot. But it's my grandparents. I've gone to family functions with black eyes and bruises, and
Wow.
when I'm not around, they like to tell everybody, "Oh, hey, my daughter's a wrestler."
Yeah.
Or my granddaughter, she fights. She fights. Like, that's cool.
My family.
But to my face, they're like, "No, you're gonna get hurt. You're gonna end up like dead in the ring. I don't know. Who knows what these people do? Like, what if somebody hurts you?" I'm like,
But people have died in the ring. People
Yeah.
have been crippled in the ring, and it's no joke.
No.
I mean, they're right.
But I mean, I can't. I love it too much to give it up.
Okay. I give you credit. Anthony, career highlights.
I had a street fight with Brian XL
Okay.
maybe 2 years ago, and that was a culmination of a 1.5-year feud. And that was the first match we ever had. It was the only match we had, singles-wise. Then I had a no-ropes match with a guy, Mark Quinn, who's one of my people I came up with. And that was
And what's the motivation for no ropes match? That's the
Well-
one thing I've never seen.
Well, Mark Quinn's style is high flying. He uses the ropes, top rope, all that. So he said he was upset with me because I dragged his brother over the guardrail and beat him up.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
he said he'll wrestle me in whatever match I want. So, being the thinking man I am, I'll take the ropes away from him and try to kind of cut his legs from underneath him.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. The craziest match I ever saw on TV was Terry Funk and Jerry Lawler empty arena match. You
Yeah.
ever see this?
Yeah.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild. And Boondocks.
I have 3. I worked Dr. Porter back in 2013 at ECW.
He was on the wrestler with us.
Yeah,
Yeah, good guy.
I wrestled Andrew Anderson in Deer Park in, I believe, sometime last year. That was, you were talking about stiff just now. That
Yeah.
was a total stiff.
Yeah.
He tested me from start to finish. And it actually, to shoot for a minute here, I got the finish mixed up because he didn't tell me that he switched the finish.
Right.
It was originally supposed to be me and him brawling towards the back. He didn't tell me that he didn't want to do it anymore. And I remember at one point, I'm on the apron all groggy, beat up. He punches me, I fall to the floor. I look up, I see him leaving towards the crowd, and I'm thinking he still wants to do that brawling thing. I gotta go follow him. So I follow him, and we end up fighting for real in the crowd, and he suplexes me on the concrete floor. That video got more views than all of my matches, put together. And I remember being on Facebook the next day going, oh, yeah, let's see how it is.
Yeah. Let me just briefly mention Andrew Anderson. We did The Wrestler together also. This is a guy who knows how to market himself.
Yes.
He's out there every weekend wrestling, signing autographs, and he gets heat for it. I think, why not make money? This is what he does. I mean, the guy's a wrestler. This is what he does. I mean, what's your take on that? Why do people get heat for promoting themselves?
I guess it's a dog-eat-dog business, I think. So when they see someone doing something, I guess they wouldn't do, I guess they figure out a way to...
They can't do.
that they can't do,
Or don't
I would
do
tell
properly.
every wrestler who works an indie show, everybody knows Rage, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy, it's like a walking, flea market.
Yeah.
The guy makes money every show. It's smart.
I try to tell people, the younger kids, I'm like, social media is your best friend. So you need to be on like 24/7 because you have to constantly put out stuff for people to know that you're going to be somewhere, and you have to market yourself. So
Exactly.
I definitely agree with their...
Don't sit there critiquing
No.
Raw or TNA Wrestling. Promote yourself.
Promote yourself.
Right. And the third one?
I tagged with Tom Brandy, the Patriot.
Okay.
And he was very incredible to work with, very nice guy, very smart. And I learned a lot getting to work with him that one night.
And since you mentioned that, for everybody, do you sit and pick the brains when you have a old school guy, a legend there?
definitely.
Because a guy like Johnny Valiant, this guy started on Ring Crew. He rep a guy like J.J. Dillon. He did everything in the business except maybe promote. I mean, you could learn so much from these old school guys.
Definitely.
But I think a lot of the young kids, the young kids, I think they know everything already.
Absolutely.
And they certainly don't. I mean, anybody in any field could learn. I could learn watching Johnny Carson, There's always something you could learn from somebody that's done more than you.
Yeah, the day you stop learning is the day you have to quit whatever business you're in, I believe.
I'm glad you said that.
Because if you stop learning, then you should know everything and you should be done.
In education today, they emphasize lifelong learning.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting? I'm not a kid, obviously. I woke up one day and realized there's so many things I don't know. I started practicing Tai Chi, meditation, healthier eating, exercise, of course. And you realize there's so many things that you don't know. Sometimes you talk to a kid, the kid thinks he knows everything. This kid's staring at his phone. He doesn't think he can learn anything from you, which is a shame. Right, John? John's a poet.
Of course. How can you, if you stop, what's that Bob Dylan on? He who isn't being born is busy dying. That whole idea. If you
No,
stop
Muhammad
learning-
Ali said. Muhammad Ali said, if you're the same person at 50 that you were at 20, you wasted 30 years.
Well, same kind of
Yeah.
idea. You have to continue to develop. Look at a tree. Some trees are 300 years old, right? They're tough, right? They're
Absolutely. See, he's a poet. He's looking at the trees, different perspective. So, okay, since I mentioned that, what would you tell a poet who has never been to a wrestling match? How would you sell him on coming to a wrestling show?
I had this conversation with my family because they really are against wrestling. But I said wrestling is the greatest form of performance art, I believe, in the world. So
My radio mentor said pro wrestling is the proletarian performance art, theater for the people.
Yeah. You're going out there and you're telling, like what a movie would tell in 2 hours or an hour and a half, and you're telling it within 15 to 20 minutes. So you need to tell a full story, full good guy, bad guy, and a culmination, a climax, and a resolution all in that time. And I believe that's the greatest human performance art that there is going today, because you can do so much. And there's so many different ways to do wrestling. There's 1,000 flavors of ice cream, and there's 1,000 flavors of wrestling. So nothing is really set in stone when you have a wrestling match.
And I'm glad you used the word art, because when I saw live Ricky Steamboat and Ric Flair, that's art.
Yeah.
What I just saw, Wrestle Kingdom with Nakamura and AJ Styles, that's art.
Yeah.
It's art. So speaking of that, what'd you think of Will Ospreay and Ricochet? That was like very controversial. I think those guys are great.
Yeah.
And I'm old school. I think that. Did you see that match?
Yeah, my thing is, I would tell you guys, every show needs 8 different or 10 different, like 8 to 10 different stories, different ideas, different styles. That is definitely a style that's needed in today's wrestling. Can every match be like that? I think no.
I don't think the average guy could do what they do.
But that has its place. There could be the matches that are the two big guys fighting. There could be the tag team match that's the classic, the babyface gets the hot tag and then the crowd goes wild. Then there's a place for that Ospreay and Ricochet match, because that was watching like a superhero fight. That's what it looked like. That's definitely needed in today's. Just in its own. It can't be every match that way,
right?
But definitely one on the card.
I used to see Abdullah the Butcher and Bruiser Brody, stabbing each other, and it's different than what these guys are doing, but it's art. It's a different kind of art.
Everything has its place, yeah.
Like my buddy the Necro Butcher, I love that guy. What can I tell you? It's different. I mean, look, on a wrestling show, like you said, if you have a great tag team, 2 high flyers, 2 technical wrestlers, a great brawl, you have something for everybody.
Yeah.
Why does it have to all be the same?
No.
WWE is so predictable for the most part.
They're trying.
What'd you think of AJ Styles and Cena? That was good, right?
I've been looking forward to that for a long time. I'm not even embarrassed to say it.
Yeah.
I was always a Cena fan, and then when I started watching TNA, of course, I was an AJ Styles fan.
AJ Styles is tremendous.
And I think he's amazing, and I think that match is something that a lot of people have been looking forward to, and I was really excited for it.
I think AJ Styles is top 5 in the world. I think the best guy in the world is Nakamura. I don't think anybody touches that guy. He's a total package.
Yep.
He can wrestle. He's got unbelievable charisma. The guy is just tremendous. Him and Sami Zayn, how great was that?
It's only a matter of time before he's, I think, on the main roster too.
I think so.
It would be a ridiculous waste if he wasn't.
Yeah.
He should be headlining WrestleMania.
He definitely could be, yeah.
Bare minimum, the co-feature.
Yeah.
Who's better than him?
Not many right now, no.
So I'm preaching to the converted. So what do you guys have coming up?
Well, NYWC has their next show on July 28th at the Sportatorium. Trust no one. Nothing in the works for ECPW at the moment.
Did they take off for the summer?
No, they're actually trying to find a new location to run Long Island shows, and so far they found nothing as of yet.
How was at your last show when
that was
when
horrible.
Bobby Dream and Robbie Rebel were in the
That
cage?
was horrible.
That wasn't a bad match.
Well, my match was horrible, and I didn't pay attention to the cage, but the whole night was just a crap fest. So I'm sorry you had to see that.
I liked the cage match was good though.
It was. I didn't really. Like I said, I didn't watch.
I like your show better than you did. There you go. So anything else coming up? Boondocks?
And really, like I said earlier, the Chamber of Horrors season starts in September in Hauppauge, and that's basically it for the moment.
You are very calm and scholarly for a pro wrestler. I'm impressed. I'm very impressed. I can picture you like in a rocking chair, like reading a good book, like some poetry, right? What do you think, John?
Why, sure.
Yeah. Anthony, what you got coming up?
So I had to pinpoint everything. Kind of work 2-3 times a weekend. So
what match are you looking forward to that's coming up?
Probably
Anything special?
August 19th is a big House of Glory show. And it has Drew Galloway and EC3 and Mickey James coming in. So House of Glory shows are usually the shows that I take, not that I don't take every show seriously, but I come in with even more of a focused mindset. So
Drew Galloway is tremendous.
Yes.
Absolutely tremendous.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, and I'm jaded. I've seen everybody, and I always enjoy watching him.
Yeah.
And Brooke?
I have House of Hardcore in August 6th in Texas, which is awesome because I've never been to Texas.
I was just in Texas for WrestleMania.
I
wasn't at WrestleMania. We were at the big convention. Yeah.
I'm really excited because I have probably about 48 hours to see some of Texas, and most of that is going to be spent at House of Hardcore. Okay. But Tommy Dreamer is my trainer, so I help him out with House of Hardcore shows, and as I guess part of my tasks, I get to go down there and help with this show, and I'm looking forward to that. I don't know when my ankle is going to be good to return to actual in-ring stuff, so I've been managing and doing some.
Who was the managers that influenced you?
Well, I liked what Sunny used to do.
Oh, okay.
She was just evil, pure evil.
Okay.
And I'm kind of evil, so.
There you go. There you go.
But
I grew up on Blassie, Albano, and the Wizard.
well, Albano he actually like lived near me. He was a lunatic, but it's awesome.
He was colorful.
Awesome.
Captain
That's
Lou.
colorful is a good word.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start using colorful
Yeah.
from now on. That's
Yeah.
probably better than lunatic.
It's politically correct.
That's good. That's good.
Colorful.
Colorful.
He was great and colorful.
Jim Cornette was a great talker.
He's still a
Still-
talker.
still a good talker.
Yeah. I think the Midnight Express was the greatest tag team. I used to see them night after night in Philly with the NWA, and they never had a bad match. Never. I mean, Midnight Express was unbelievable. And TJ, what's coming up?
Both the shows they mentioned, actually the three, I'll be there. But the one I'm looking forward to the most is next Saturday, July 2nd. I'm wrestling Bull James for Ace.
He's a big boy.
Yeah, so that's in Wallington, New Jersey. My championship on the line, so it should be fun. Me and Bull with two big guys going out there and beating each other up.
So there you go.
Yeah.
So Anthony, it's a different world today, the pro wrestling business. You don't have to be 300 pounds. You don't have to be, 6'7" like back in the day when they'd bring in somebody to wrestle Bruno or Hogan or whatnot. Is it more encouraging for someone who's not a huge guy?
I think obviously right now is probably the best time to be my size with the Cruiserweight Classic, and I have friends that are in the WWE that I've helped out or they've helped me out, and so right now it's a pretty good time to be my size, and I think a lot of barriers are being broken.
So it doesn't seem like an impossible dream. It seems like a reasonable goal.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Follow your dream. You never know how far you could take it.
Exactly.
I mean, I'll tell you how the wrestler came about for me. This is a funny story. As an agent, I booked Nikolai Volkov and Johnny Valiant for an autograph signing. We're sitting there, and the best friend of the executive producer, the money guy, starts talking to us. Next thing you know, we have a meeting, and we're doing the wrestler, and Mickey's up for the Academy Award. And I acted with him in this. If you ever see the autograph scene, I acted with him. So I'm not even an actor, and I'm acting with an Academy Award nominee and a Golden Globe winner. So crazy things happen when you're just out there doing things.
Yeah.
Sitting, playing video games in your living room, nothing happens.
Yeah.
So I tell people all the time, I knew so and so back in the day. I knew Mick Foley when he was like sleeping in cars, wrestling for $50. The guy's a millionaire. He's made it. It's a crazy business. Things happen. So I want to say, down the road, you guys were sitting with me on June 24, 2016. Now look, they're at WrestleMania, and things happen. You never know. You never know. And John will be up for the Pulitzer for his next book. William S. Peters, poet. He's going to be on the show. He's up for the Pulitzer.
That's exciting.
Yeah. So he's going to be on later this summer. So. You never know. You got to be in it to win it, as cliched as that may sound. Any final words, final plugs?
You can follow me on Twitter at JBSawyer76, and you can subscribe to the NYWC archives by going to nywcwrestling.com. Only $2.99 a month.
There you go.
That was a good sell.
Yes.
That was a good sell.
If you want to follow me, you can follow me on Twitter at House of Gangone, and you can search my name on Facebook if you want to be my friend or like my page.
Okay.
Ask you questions that are non-title.
And you can hear me on Main Event Madness Radio. I'm one of the correspondents. That's Wednesdays, 8 p.m. at wrestling-news.net. Wrestling-news.net with John Curry, who is the host. And when we come back, we're going to have live music, live poetry, live hip-hop, live everything. We're going to take it to the stage in just a moment. Don't you dare go anywhere. More of the eclectic mix known as Legends TV in just a moment.
From the associate producer of The Wrestler comes Wrestling Then and Now. Walk with producer Evan Ginsberg as he explores the real-life East Coast Indie wrestling scene portrayed in The Wrestler. Featuring legends old and new. Killer Kowalski.
People get so gullible I can say anything, believe it all. The whole thing is, from the very beginning, you can create baloney, baloney, and more baloney, people still believe you.
Nikolai Volkov.
I escaped from communist country, but then I met the gentleman named Fred Blassie, who was my manager, and he told me, Mr. Nikolai, if you hate so much communism, why you don't help those people that live there, show the rest of the world what it means to be communist. Just act like you are one. You know what they did to you, what they did to your family. And I said, yeah, that's a good idea. Well, that would be it, so I did it.
Don Dr. Death Arnold.
Sell it. That's it, boy. That's it.
Oh boy. Low Life Louis
What I want to speak
Ramos.
about is the time when I was wrestling in a church for a community show, and I lit the table on fire and the whole building almost burned down.
Ratty the Rat
When
Girl.
you tell or show your family about your unusual career path, how do they react?
My mom just thinks it's me trying to get attention, that there was some deep, dark disturbance that I'm trying to, like, get her to become aware of, but she just doesn't quite understand. Like, it's a passion, it's storytelling.
And the Great Mambo King.
I'm what you call your professional wrestler, Boys Club of America type of guy. I saw a bunch of kids basically being hoodlums, doing bad things in the streets, so I decided, hey, you know, what should I do? Should I get them? Yes, I'm a wrestler. You want to be in an interview with me?
Wrestling Then and Now is a must-see for both die-hard fans as well as casual fans of the sport. A wonderful piece of history and art. I can't wait to watch it all over again. It was great to see my old deceased friends, Killer Kowalski and Tiger Khan. It was also great to see Evan Ginsberg, Don Arnold, and Jeff Archer. You don't have to be a wrestling fan to enjoy. It's that good. Wrestling Then and Now. Streaming to your computer, to your phone, to your TV. Visit Amazon.com and look for Wrestling Then and Now.
Being a fireman is more than just putting out blazes and giving kittens CPR. Sometimes my duty demands I fan the flames, like when a call comes in from a lady who needs immediate assistance. Maybe she needs help with that computer thing. Maybe she wants to go antique. Could be as simple as understanding that walking in heels is... it's hard. Aussi simple que l'été dernier à Paris. C'est sympa. Maybe it's ladies' night in, and she wants a simple, delicious recipe for margaritas with a twist. First, a can of limeade. Now hold on to this, you'll be using it. Side note, kittens make everything better. Next, add water. Now, a bottle of light beer. No, shh. Trust me, I'm a professional. And last, and most important, Sauza Blue Tequila. Now, mix it up. Ole. Yes, that's what I'm trained for. Whether it's to help her choose leggings or pants, telling her leggings are pants, or discussing leggings and jeggings versus pant pegging at her next ladies' night in, I'll come to the rescue. Don't call me a hero. Just call me. Let me know what time. Being a fireman is more than just putting out blazes and giving kittens CPR. Sometimes my duty demands I fan the flames, like when a call comes in from a lady who needs immediate assistance. Maybe she needs help with that computer thing. Maybe she wants to go antique. Could be as simple as understanding that walking in heels is... it's hard. Aussi simple que l'été dernier à Paris. C'est sympa. Maybe it's ladies' night in, and she wants a simple, delicious recipe for margaritas with a twist. First, a can of limeade. Now hold on to this. You'll be using it. Side note, kittens make everything better. Next, add water. Now, a bottle of light beer. No, shh. Trust me, I'm a professional. And last, and most important, Sauza Blue tequila. Now, mix it up. Ole. Yes, that's what I'm trained for. Whether it's to help her choose leggings or pants, telling her leggings are pants, or discussing leggings and jeggings versus pant pegging at her next ladies' night in, I'll come to the rescue. Don't call me a hero. Just call me. Let me know what time.
Yeah, before we begin, I would like to just say this is not a public service announcement, but this is brought to you by Madhousetv, just in case you didn't know. My name is Vernon Stones. This is Timmy the Bass Kid. We about to rock out for you in a minute, but before I do, I'd like to dedicate this show to my lost godbrother, stepbrother, Daniel DJ Harris Jr. May you rest in peace. Also, I just want to give you a timestamp real quick just to let you know where I'm coming from. Today is the 25th of June, 2016. This morning, when I went to the store, I went to go get me a sandwich. When I went into the store to get a sandwich, first thing I look at is the newspaper headlines. Let me grab my phone real quick. What I just happened to look at, New York Post, around the world, voices cry out, power to the people. You got an American fist and a Britain fist. The Daily News, penny wise, pound foolish. Then it's also explaining here, global stock market rocked by Brexit. Britain currency plummeting to 3-decade low. Thierry Cameron resigns as Prime Minister. Newsday, British vote to exit European Union. Markets rocked. Dow down 610 amid global sell-off. What does that mean? I don't know what it means, but I know something's going on. Let's get into the song, Timmy. Yeah. Are you afraid of the dark? Scared of the boogeyman? If so, prepare your heart. Grow up and face your fears. Chase bears back in the wilderness where frivolous minds conspire. Cause minds is much flyer than UFOs. While dance around the obvious with two left toes. The sky is ominous with strange feelings. The kind I get from straight spitting. With more swag than blokes from Great Britain. Soaked in gravy like it's Thanksgiving. My thanks is given to the Most High. Won't stop until I'm multi. The difference between us is you don't try, believe, never let your dreams die till you happy eating lean pies. Now spread the fruits of labor. I'm talking trade, not an IOU on stacks of paper. Welcome to the broken planet. Yeah, I said welcome to the broken planet. Welcome to the broken planet. You got a first round ticket to the class. Welcome to the broken planet. We manufacture fiends and bandits, supplying pills for pain and they take advantage. A product for their gain, but we absorb the damage, you know? Welcome to the broken planet. Welcome to the broken planet. Now, what I'm saying, I'm not saying just to be saying what I'm saying. You understand? What I'm saying because I need to be saying. You feel me? There's more than meets the eye, but I can see through your weak disguise. People's not beat for deceit and lies. Certainly locked away behind the curtains. There's no surprise. We're in the matrix. How many times we gonna fall for the same shit? AKA politics. Some chick told me that's a backroom politic. Itching trying to get it hit while Big Pharma reaps the benefits. Now that's plain ludicrous. Nothing will ever change if we don't use diligence. Stay militant, never let them under your skin, cause you bound to lose some friends along the way, as you do on Facebook, like every single day. Some people can be pathetic, so hey, don't sweat it, cuz welcome to the broken planet. Yeah, we living on a broken planet. I said, welcome to the broken planet. Yeah. Welcome to the broken planet. We manufacture fiends and bandits, supplying pills for pain, and they take advantage. A product for their game, but we absorb the damage, you know? So welcome to the broken planet. Yeah. Welcome to the broken planet. And you, and you, and you, and you. I said welcome to the broken planet. Alright, we about to get real live up in here. About to get lit. When I say what I say, I need you to repeat after me, you feel me? Let's go. When I say 2 times, you do it 2 times. I said systems broke.
Systems broke.
Systems broke. I said the systems broke. The systems broke. Systems broke. The systems broke. I said the systems broke. The systems broke. The systems broke. The systems broke. They know the systems broke. The systems broke. The systems broke. The systems broke. I say fuck they system. 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 Fuck they system, 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 cause systems broke, the systems broke, they know the systems broke, the systems broke, I know the systems broke, the systems broke, they know the systems broke, the systems broke, we know the systems broke, the systems broke, they know the systems broke, the systems broke, we know the systems broke, the systems broke, they know the systems broke, the systems broke, they know the systems broke, the systems broke. Thank you. Appreciate it.
I think a good friend John's gonna come up now and do a little poetry.
All right. Thank you, fellas, for letting me sit in.
Oh, yeah.
It's called Clear Blue Eye Shot. Calm water heats whirlpools through the bay. Schooners and motorboats paddle dance their ways toward shore and out to sea. It was always this day, the 2nd of June's moon, that time clawed its way like a cold hammer into our hearts. Today is no different. Yet now, only moments of sadness linger as tugging on an open cut drips just the right amount of blood to leave a memory trace along the edge of a sleeve. This afternoon of sorrows crows scream atop lampposts, welcoming troops as they march into battle. This is called 30 tossed pieces of silver. In the illusion of sunlight's kiss, I watch shadows of families and couples reflected. Afternoon shrieks as a wounded swan lying beside a riverbank. Ghost words tear as heated knives. A hand tosses 30 coins onto haughty coldness, kneeling in humility, hours before shedding all illusions before the gates of oblivion. Forgive me, Lord. Time has raised our suffering. We ask forgiveness for our daily bread, gazing into shadows where evening emerges on the extended legs of a spider, carefully aroused by a tug along its careful constructions. Forever tempted, but lost to consequence. And one more from the book. This goes out to Brooklyn, and it's called Above the Steely Grates to the Brooklyn Bridge. Turbulence threatens. Envelopes of gray wash gathers. Blue. Thousands scurry along footpaths. Her brown stones, stalwart cavaliers, scrape phantasms of New York Harbor. An artery of solitude avenue grasping possibility. Many men have catapulted hunger from your terrace. Time unwatched, cities growl. In greatness, on either side of its unmatched tendrils, never faltering, as a womb from which we return, as a womb from which we return.
Hello, I'm Dr. G. I've established an organization called Voices for Veterans. We use music to honor veterans and to help the public understand what veterans have gone through when they come home from war. On October 22nd of this year, we're going to have an incredible show, a 3.5-hour concert at Malloy College, one of the greatest 500-seat theaters on Long Island. We're going to honor 25 veterans. We've taken an incredible band, 15 people from Long Island, some of the best musicians we could find, and we merged it with a 30-person choir, merging gospel with rock and roll. This incredible 3.5-hour show is like none other that you've ever seen. This is Grammy quality. October 22nd, you can buy a ticket, you can make a donation, you can get involved, you can help us with the committee. You can look us up at veterans.org and go on our website and get all the information about the show. Please make a difference to these veterans by coming aboard with us with Voices for Veterans. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Do one more song, man. A little song we like to do. Jazz song called All Blues. I always love playing it when I'm doing these solo shows out on the boardwalk and things like that. So I'll play it for you guys today, and I hope that you will like it.